Today's show on Chicago Bears Now, Mel Kiper has released his 2021 mock draft. His first one. At HGramNFL on Twitter. You can follow me there for more Bears updates. But let's get into today's video. And that is Kiper, who I was waiting for it. When's Mel Kiper going to release his mock? Well, it's finally here. He just did the first round. That's what he does for his first couple of mocks. Bears, number 20 overall pick in the first round. And you guys know this. Biggest needs, quarterback and offensive tackle. I don't think it's even close. I think it's a major drop-off after that. This defense is in good shape. Skill position-wise, you're in good shape unless you lose Allen Robinson, which is why I have wide receiver as my number 3 biggest need. You could upgrade defensive tackle. We'll see if Eddie Goldman comes back and plays at a high level after opting out. Safety as well. Eddie Jackson struggled a bit in 2020. Tayshaun Gibson's a free agent. We'll see. But quarterback and offensive tackle, by far your 2 biggest needs in this draft. So in just a second, I'll take a look at who Mel Kiper drafted for the Chicago Bears in his first mock draft. What is the bigger need, though? I want to know from you guys. Type QB for quarterback or just type tackle. Let me know what you guys think. That's offensive tackle, obviously. Quarterback or tackle. It's quarterback because it doesn't matter who your tackles are if you don't have a good quarterback, but these are the top 2 needs. Let me know what you guys think. And Mel Kiper has selected Teven Jenkins, the offensive tackle out of Oklahoma State. This is a very, very deep tackle class in 2020. Opportunity to get someone in round 1 or even in round 2, someone that can start, I believe, as a rookie. And Teven Jenkins is one of those guys. And what I like about him, played both tackle spots at Oklahoma State, played most of this season, opted out for the last couple of games to get ready for the draft. 35 career starts. Ryan Pace must add a legit tackle this offseason. Here's Mel Kiper's evaluation of Teven Jenkins. Started both at right tackle and left tackle for the Cowboys, and he was having a stellar season before he opted out in late November. Again, missed the final couple games, no big deal. At 6'6", 310, he has long arms, and there are no questions about his size to play tackle. In Chicago, he could start immediately on the right side, where Jermaine Ifedi is a free agent, and be the long-term replacement to Charles Leno at left tackle. Keep in mind, Bobby Massie at right tackle as well is under contract. He's really more of your right tackle. I don't think Ifedi will be back. But as far as Teven Jenkins goes, he's got the measurables. 6'6", 320, experience in a major Power 5 conference, had some accolades as well, a couple of first-team All-Big 12s. Teven Jenkins could come in and be a starting tackle in this league right away, in my opinion. I think this is a good pick for Mel Kiper. Again, quarterback's the other question mark. We'll talk about what Kiper did at quarterback in this mock draft. But grade this pick. A, B, C, D, or F. A-. If you get an offensive tackle in round 1, I'm not going to complain. You got to get better on the outside of your offensive line. I think the interior is in good shape, but the tackle spot, not so much. I'm going to give this one an A- for Mel Kiper. We'll make this the pinned comment. Go ahead and type your grades right there. And again, I just want to reiterate, this is a deep tackle class. So Ryan Pace has not drafted a tackle before the 6th round since being GM of the Bears. Can you believe that? That is unheard of. He took over in 2015 and has not drafted a tackle before round 6 in 6 drafts. That's a fireable offense in itself. But good news for him is the options are there this time. Even if you don't have a first-round pick, let's say you trade for a quarterback, you can get one in round 2 as well. So you should be able to get one of these tackles in this draft. You look at what Kiper did in his mock draft. 5 tackles in the first round, and the Bears got the 5th one. Penei Sewell, the stud out of Oregon, he's expected to be a top 5 pick. Rashawn Slater, a guy you guys are familiar with, Northwestern kid. He can play some tackle, some guard. I think he'll be a tackle in the NFL. Christian Darrisaw, we mocked him in a mock draft a few months back out of Virginia Tech. He went 13th overall to the Chargers. Elijah Vera Tucker out of USC to Minnesota. And then at pick 20, Teven Jenkins out of Oklahoma State. Any of these guys make sense. You get a tackle in round 1, especially if you figure out quarterback as a veteran, like a trader in free agency. That's a home run. That's an absolute home run for Ryan Pace, for Matt Nagy, and this front office. So we will see what happens, but I like this pick from Mel Kiper. Again, if you trade for a guy like Deshaun Watson, you're not going to have a first-round pick, but I'll reiterate, you can get a good tackle in round 2 as well. So I fully hope and expect Ryan Pace to get a tackle, but you expect Ryan Pace to do one thing, he'll probably do the other. If you love the NFL draft and if you love the Chicago Bears, this is the place for you. Bears draft videos all offseason long. I'm due for a new mock draft, my own mock draft. I'll do one very, very soon. Subscribe to the channel. If we get enough subs on today's video, I'll do a 7-round mock draft in the next week or two. Very, very soon. We'll have a bunch of them throughout the offseason. Hit that big red button and subscribe. It's youtube.com/BearsNow. We're going to crank up our Bears draft coverage literally as we speak. So you look at the Bears' offensive line, kind of how it sits right now. And obviously, this isn't how the season ended because James Daniels was hurt. So was Bobby Massie. You got some free agents, obviously Jason Spriggs. I think he's probably gone. Rashad Coward, same deal. Also have some exclusive rights free agents. What does that mean? You can basically offer a guy like Alex Bars hardly any money, and he either can agree or he doesn't play. Like another team can't go sign him if you offer him that contract. And Barrs played really well, so he could be an option at tackle or guard as well. But you look at those tackle spots, because I like the interior. Leno and Massie, I'm okay if one of them stays and is one of your tackles. But you can't have both. You cut one to save $6-7 million, and you draft a tackle, and your offensive line is set. Whitehair and Daniels can mash on the inside. I think Sam Mustipher showed me enough that he can be a starting caliber center in the NFL. He played really well the final 6 weeks or so, but you got to get a legit tackle in here, which is why I like this pick of Teven Jenkins so much. If you can get a tackle, I would be very, very happy. Now, pick one to cut because I do think one of these guys is likely gone. Type CL for Charles Leno Jr., type BM for Bobby Massie. Let me know in the comment section which of these guys would you cut if you had to pick one. I would probably pick Massie because you can save more money pre-June 1, but if it was post-June 1, I'd pick Leno, but that requires some patience, so I'd probably go BM for Bobby Massie. Do me a favor and follow me on Twitter for more Chicago Bears updates. If you're not getting enough coverage here on the channel, I've got more tidbits on my Twitter page at HGramNFL, trying to increase my profile on Twitter. A lot of you guys have already followed me. I appreciate it. If you haven't, give me a follow over there. It's at HGramNFL, and we will have more Bears coverage for you guys right there. Also, you look at the quarterback position, okay? This is what Mel Kiper did, because I know a lot of you guys are saying, oh, why didn't Mel Kiper go quarterback in round 1? Well, the top 5 guys went in the first 15 picks. If that happens, the Bears aren't drafting a quarterback in round 1 unless Kyle Trask randomly skyrockets up draft boards. Trevor Lawrence to the Jaguars. That's automatic. Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, they're going top 10. They went to Atlanta and to Detroit. Trey Lance went to the Panthers at 8. And then Mel Kiper had Mac Jones all the way up at number 15. If that happens, you know, you're not going to take a quarterback in the first round. You may have to trade up for one. You might trade for one in the offseason for a veteran, a guy like Deshaun, a guy like Matthew Stafford, or someone like that. If 5 quarterbacks go in the top 15 picks, just take a tackle, because that means not all the tackles went in round 1. Mac Jones goes at 15. Best of luck to him. I don't think I'm trading up to 15 for Mac Jones. I'd take him at 20. I don't think I'd trade up for him. The 6th quarterback in this class is Kyle Trask. I would take him in round 2. I'd be fine with that. I don't think I would take him in the first round. Had a big season at Florida. Did kind of fade down the stretch and just looked really bad in the bowl game against the Oklahoma Sooners. I'm not going to put too much stock into that, but I do think he has some limitations in comparison to some of these other guys, which is why I have him as more of a day 2 pick, and so does Mel Kiper, as he did not crack his first round in his initial mock draft. But again, if 5 quarterbacks go in the top 15, what can you do? You're not going to get one if you're the Chicago Bears. Should the Bears draft or trade for a quarterback? Type D for draft, type T for trade. What would you prefer? Ignore Kiper's mock draft. Would you prefer the Bears to draft someone, even if that means trading up, or to trade for a veteran like a Garoppolo, like a Watson, like a Stafford? Let me know. D for draft, T for trade. What do you want the Bears to do at quarterback this offseason? All right, and Teven Jenkins, just to circle back this, I would feel good about this pick. Any of those tackles, Darrisaw, if Slater slid, any of those guys, I'm good with. Bears need a tackle. It's very simple. I thought this was a safe and good pick by Mel Kiper Jr. in his first mock draft. I'll have a mock draft on the channel very, very soon, so subscribe, youtube.com/BearsNow.